Yeah, I thought it was definitely, first game of the season. It was nice to be able to learn from it, but also come out of there with the win. And I think that's exactly what it was. Just, taking it with a grain of salt. Happy that we won, but on to the next one and just improving from there.
Where do you think there is that room for improvement? Is it just the chemistry? Is it just kind of getting to know, because the bottom kind of got shifted?
Yeah, for sure. I would say, chemistry, no doubt. Just the system plays and what the team identity is and what you want to do every time you get the puck or different positions on the ice. I think. Once again, it was definitely a first game, and you could definitely see if you watched. Not the sharpest, but nonetheless, great learning experience for us.
When you do have to go to work like you're on Friday, or you get ready today.
Yeah.
When you have a game like that and then you go to work, do you already see a difference in crispness or in detail, or have you seen what you need to see to know that tonight might be a bit of a different effort?
Yeah, for sure. I can speak, personally for myself that yes, I expect to be a lot better tonight than I was the first night, and I'm sure a lot of the guys in the room feel the same way. So, all in all, I do expect a better product and effort from the whole group.
What have you learned of Max Domi?
He's a great guy. Very happy-go-lucky, brings a lot of energy. On the ice, very fun to play with. He's very quick. Thinks the game at a high level, and for me, it's just trying to work off of him and make sure that I can, be available, but also get pucks to him as well, so he can do his thing, and then just reading off each other defensively as well. But very smart player and great person.
I know you only worry about what goes on in this room.
Yeah.
But as far as they weren't happy with their start.
Yeah.
They're kind of wounded animals. They're angry.
Yeah.
Are you guys obviously mindful of it? How do you kind of prepare yourselves for that? Because it's not just another game.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's great. No, when we expect a dogfight tonight, we know it's going to be a tough one. They're not happy with how their first game went, so I expect it to be a tight, physical checking game with both teams out there with a lot to prove.
Were you a Tigers fan growing up too?
Yeah, I was a Tigers fan, but I'm on the Jays train now. So. Tough to see him go down like that, but great season for him, and they accomplished a lot for that group.
But I think we know, hearing from your teammates, you'll take the win, but there was some areas you wanted to focus after last year. What is one area that you see that you want to improve on tonight?
Yeah, puck play, I think. Just being connected, making the easy play. We don't need to be so spread out and trying to hit home runs every time. I think the easy plays there. If it's there, we just got to take it and gain zones and play a hard game.
My first look at you and McCabe, how do you describe what the chemistry and the tandem that you guys are?
Yeah, Jake's an incredible player. So he's been playing for such a long time now, and really smart, really good skater. So got some good chemistry last year. Still a lot to improve on for us going forward, but good first step, and you just try to build as you go here and lay a good foundation as you get comfortable out here.
What makes it work? Is it communication? Is it just having a feel for one another?
Yeah, I think we both have a great relationship on and off the ice. It's easy to throw things off each other. Hey, I need if you're here at this point, or if the puck comes here, maybe you're here. Really seamless and just easy to communicate. So I think that goes a long way.
First road trip of the year, and you don't want to read too much into it, but how do you guys approach this one, especially given that, and I know you only focus on what goes in this room, but they weren't happy with game one, so how do you guys know that you're likely going to see their best and kind of match that in person?
Yeah, we got to be ready to go. We need to improve on the areas that we want to improve on, and got to be ready for a team that's going to, I think, play really direct, come hard, and play a physical game.
Does it feel, though, now this will be game number 2, but does it feel like you guys are, as a group, feeling what you need to have to kind of get to where you are? Like, does it feel like this group's a cohesive group right now? And I know it's too early for identity, but do you sort of get a sense you're heading that way?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time together off the ice, which has been great. A lot of new guys in here, new faces, so just trying to build relationships with them, and then that'll translate onto the ice. It takes a little bit of time, but yeah, it's we're building to where we want to go. We still have a lot to work on and a lot to improve on.
How do you describe that pairing, that tandem that you and Tanev have? Like,
Yeah.
It's just so it's seamless, and it looks like it's been going on for a long time.
Yeah, playing majority of the year last year together. Similar, I think we have similar mindsets out there when we get on the ice, and we appreciate our roles and what's expected of us, and taking on tough matchups, a lot of D-zone starts, keeping the puck out of our net, penalty kill, kind of being just a consistent, steady presence back there for our group is important to us. And he's one of the smartest players I've played with. He's always in the right position. We talk quite a bit out there. Good buddies off the ice. Both have young families, so lots in common. We love sports, and yeah, it's been a good rapport we've developed.
That's great. Talking to some of your teammates, I mean, you gladly take the win at night number 1, but the sentiment was that there's still a lot of work to be done. Have you seen some of that work and those details be addressed?
Yeah, I think early in the season, you want to be collecting 2 points no matter how you do it, but in the grand scheme of things, we got to be a lot better than we were, and in all facets of the game, just managing the puck, just a consistent 60-minute effort, no letdowns throughout the game, and just building our identity with this group we have in here, and it'll be a good test for us on the road tonight.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that. I know you're only focused about what goes on in here or on your side of the ice, but when you get a team like Detroit that was not happy with game number 1, they were quite vocal about it, their coach and others, they're going to come out giving you their best. How do you match that intensity, or do you even worry about that and you just stick to it?
Yeah, you got to be aware that oftentimes when a team didn't like their last game, that they're going to be even more ready from the jump. So yeah, we just got to be prepared for that, and like I said, kind of it's your typical talking points, but it's important to especially start right and manage the puck and don't give them any freebies. They got a lot of skill up front, so you don't want to give them any unnecessary odd man rushes, and continue to provide pressure on the forecheck and stress their defense, and have some ozone time. Frankly, is a good way to defend.
We focus on your group, I know that, but you also are aware, I'm guessing, that Detroit wasn't really happy. So how do you kind of counter, knowing that you're in theory going to get their best?
Yeah, our players got to be prepared for that. They're going to make a good push. They're going to be a lot better tonight. I expect that. We expect that. So we got to be ready from the drop of the puck and get to our game as quickly as possible.
That game looks like what for you tonight? Given what you saw in game 1, and I know you've talked about the last couple of
Well,
days.
I think we got to be ready to manage the puck better than we did last game. We got to be ready. They're going to be on us quick, so you got to make quick decisions. Like, got to be getting pucks behind them and go to work. That's the bottom line. This is a highly skilled team over there that they can make plays, and we got to make them play in their own end as much as possible and make sure we're above things all night and stay disciplined. They got a good PP.
Can I ask you about the tandem of McCabe and Tanev, and just how much of a trust factor you have with those guys?
Yeah, huge. They get the job done. I think is the best way to describe them. They take a lot of pride in defending, protecting our net, going against top lines every night, and doing that job against those guys and our penalty kill. They take a lot of pride in that, and they know that's their game and their job.
Any lineup changes tonight for you guys?
No.
No. So is that just you guys get the win, you want to give them another look in that?
Yeah, it's just, I think the win, and I just didn't feel there was any need to make a change tonight in the lineup.
What do you think the biggest adjustment is for Austin and Matthew not having Marner this season? Is it defensive? Is it offensive? Is it everything?
I'm not sure. I don't think there's a huge adjustment, to be honest with you. I mean, he's a great player, and he'll find a way to do what he needs to do to get the job done.
You got a first look at a lot of the new guys in that first game. What did you make of Dakota Joshua in that, and what do you expect from him for this one?
He'll be better. I think he'll be, he was like a lot of our guys, a little slow with the puck. Better decisions, quicker decisions, and get to his game, which is, a heavy forward check, down low game, physical, just creating havoc, get to the net, things like that. Obviously penalty kill, he's one of our guys in the kill. That's what we'll expect out of him, and, be reliable defensively. That's really his game.
You asked about Lalone yesterday. I'm just curious, like philosophically, how his impact's been early on the penalty kill and that sort of thing.
Yeah, good. I think guys are really taken to it. There's some adjustments obviously from last year. It's a little different of a kill, but I think guys have done a good job in camp. He's done a great job of teaching it. And, we got to keep working on it. It just doesn't happen overnight. There's always things and tweaks you got to go throughout the year.
Did you stay up to watch the Detroit?
I stayed up till about the 11th inning, maybe 12th. That was it.
We like the fact that game went late, and now Seattle's got to play the Jays, and they very fatigued.
Could be, yeah, for sure. A lot of travel too, right? I'm excited to see the Jays against them and rooting for them.
That game got moved. That your game on Monday got moved.
Am I pumped?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I guess, it's great for everybody in the city, to be honest with you. But I'm good with the game being at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock either way. But, there's reasons why, and I get it.
Have you met John Schneider?
Yeah, I have.
Around him? Okay.
Yeah.
Stands out about him.
Oh, he's just a solid guy, very low-keyed and great to talk to and chat with and stuff like that. They were, welcomed me down in the locker room and stuff, so I had a great time with those guys and the coaches and met some players. But, he's a solid guy.